Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, that's hot.
Mistake.
Worst thing students have ever done to me.
Welcome to City School's Spicy Truths, where we speak to lecturers in Tallinn University just to see how they are, especially outside of their own teaching capabilities. And today we have Ben. Welcome. Michael from BFM, so welcome.
Hello.
Nawal, welcome to the show.
Hi.
As you said, I'm Ben. I'm actually Benjamin Klasche, so I'm from Germany. I'm very scared of both the truth and the fire. Very honored that you think I'm a fun enough partner for this conversation, or maybe you just want to see me sweat.
I think some people do want to say this.
I'm Michael Keerdo-Dawson. I'm from England originally.
Hi, I'm Nawal. I'm a lecturer at the State Politics and Governance School, though I think it's called something else.
What's the spiciest thing you have eaten in your life? And have you ever cried eating something?
Yeah, I had sushi when I was 5. I didn't know that wasabi was a hot thing. So I thought it was like guacamole. So I took a huge chunk of it, and then it took me another 20 years to revisit sushi. So
I had a girlfriend from India when I was in my 20s, and we went into an Indian restaurant together, and the guy in the Indian restaurant didn't like the fact that we were a couple, so he made my meal as spicy as he could possibly make it. Yeah, I cried a lot.
Let's start with the first one, the habanero. I think this should be...
this is already my limit, but
I don't think this will be that bad.
So far, so good.
Oh, okay, that wasn't that bad.
It's got a kick.
I don't taste anything. First kind of ideas we want to hear from you is, what do you think the school culture in Tallinn University is like?
The students that I see in my department, I think there is a really fun student culture. I guess it's hard to figure it out when you're this old and not on the right social media platforms.
The international student body is pretty big.
Yeah.
10-15% or so. So it is a substantial group that has a way different experience, I think, here
than local students.
Yeah, and often local and international students, they don't come in contact very often.
Some year groups seem to be more loose and party animals, and other years seem to be more conservative and withdrawn. I know my students as I relate to them through my teaching practice, and I think I'm pretty laid back.
Sometimes we grab a beer together, but that is if I'm supervising them. I think it's sometimes it's hard to be mean when you're in an office sitting behind the desk going, this is absolutely horrible, I can't pass this. So I like to do that over a beer. Oh no, if I have to really fail someone, then I'm like, this is the institution, we are speaking together. But if I'm still trying to help somebody, then I'm like very much, I'm your buddy, let's grab a beer,
I think we can try our second song.
Okay, yeah, sounds
and
good.
we'll get to this.
No problem. Like a walk in the park. I would say this one's not as strong as the previous one.
I quite like that one actually. It's like lemony almost.
So has there been ever discussions in the class or in your lecture hall that has been heated because of controversial things?
For sure. All the time, right? And we were discussing feminism as a political theory, and a student said that he doesn't agree with feminism. It's like women stealing all the oranges from all the men and leave the men with no oranges left. Also verbal pushback in the classroom of how he doesn't understand feminism. I didn't say anything. I was just looking for 10 minutes how these two parties were kind of, maybe not the most civil in the end anymore. That's when we needed to stop. I do disagree very often with my students' statements, and I feel like we need to discuss this now.
Troubles, I think myself and even other students have. Some lecturers, we know that they're knowledgeable, but they can't communicate that passion, So how does a good lecturer or good teacher teach and show this passion?
Am I allowed to swear? I don't know. I'm allowed to swear? All right. I have my 3 gives a fuck about teaching. So one, as I've alluded to, you have to give a fuck about the subject. First of all, you have to have that passion for it. The second thing, you have to give a fuck about teaching itself, as in you have to study how to teach and you have to understand what it means to try and transfer knowledge or to build a conversation or to have some discussion with students. And then the third is you have to give a fuck about the students. And that's the one where a lot of people go, oh, do I have to? And yeah, you kind of do. You have to be involved and committed to their learning and trying to improve them.
I think we can try our third
Okay.
sauce.
Yeah, now the logos get really gnarly.
Yeah.
Before that, it's just like the off-the-shelf stuff, but now it's...
Now this is a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it's...
Zombie apocalypse.
Yes, a zombie apocalypse.
Okay, that sounds promising. Mistake. Whoa.
Oh my God, that's hot.
Finally.
Yeah. That one's nice. That one's got a real kick.
Okay, it's the right kind of painful, I'd give you that.
Oh, my tongue is...
You feeling?
Yeah. Maybe you need to talk for a second.
Do you have a
Mind
fire,
you, this is a
do you have a fire extinguisher?
Oh, I'm sorry. The tongue is feeling weird.
Has there been a student that gave you a very bad impression? Like someone who
All the time, yeah.
all the time?
The one that never stops talking, but also doesn't have much to offer. Ignorance, plus confidence. That's like the worst combination.
A fake confidence.
Yes.
A
Well,
false
no,
confidence.
the confidence is real, I think.
I think I've lucked out with the students that I've drawn. Heard horror stories from other colleagues, and there was this colleague who had a student. My colleague had gone the extra mile and given them some a private number to contact them on. But the student would contact them at 11 p.m. every day and refused to do any of the job, the feedback, refused to incorporate it. It blew up into a whole thing. And other people in the institution got involved. But yeah, that student had been fairly problematic.
Has there been any moment where you feel like a bias towards certain people or against certain people?
Of course.
Yes.
How?
I think it's unavoidable.
We call it the halo effect. So you have a student who turns up, asks questions, does all their assignments on time. It builds a halo around you, yeah? So you have this you're a good student, right?
One of my students who is graduating now, she wasn't standing out or anything, but over these 2 years, you could just see every time I saw her again, it's just like, oh, she's just like the wheels are turning nonstop. She is like taking in all this information, and she became so much smarter, and now she wrote this amazing master thesis.
A student who's not particularly hardworking, who's always on their phone playing or doing something in the lecture, and then they can produce something quite good, and
I really do want my students to love me, but I'd settle for them showing up to class, so it's more like, okay, you're here, well done.
Are you ready for the next one?
This is the worst thing students have ever done to me.
Yeah.
Can we go back to level 2?
No, we can't. We can only get better. Let's have our fourth sauce.
Oh.
Have you recovered from the...
Barely, yeah.
Good luck. Good luck.
Coming a little later.
This is it's the slow and long one.
Okay, weirdly? Okay, I spoke too soon.
This one's got flavour. The last one was pure heat. This one's actually got something.
Actually, I think it's less.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm even going in for seconds.
Ow!
Please, if you need.
No, I'm still enjoying it.
Even like beyond the student-teacher relationship, what goes behind the scenes, behind the curtains when you and other lecturers speak about students? How does that sound like? Give us a
Behind the scenes.
yes insight. How much gossip is there?
I think there's not as much as there should be.
Oh, really?
Well, usually it's about confirming what we already know. Very often you'll hear the same opinion. If you have an opinion about a student and then you hear someone confirm it. So who's hardworking and who's not, who's talented, who's not.
I think it happens a lot more when we're at the master's and PhD level because there's a fewer of us around.
Yeah.
You get both ends of the spectrum. You get lecturers being very, oh, I'm so glad the student has made so much progress, and being so excited about that. And then sometimes lecturers being like, oh, this was an absolute nightmare. I can't believe I have to, deal with this person again. But yeah, it doesn't happen as often as it should, I think.
Definitely conversations about students every once in a while.
Yeah.
Especially the bad ones. Like we tell each other, hey, I found plagiarism or AI text. Watch out for this student when they come to your class. We also do praise the good students. Some of my colleagues, when we come together, I'm like, oh my God, they read the text and they understood it.
We're in sync about a student usually.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That was a slow.
It's a slow
that was
one.
a slow burn. That was like a HBO drama. It was like coming slowly and bit by bit. Thank you. Can I just keep the?
Yeah.
Drink from the?
Okay, I'm gonna ask. Have you recovered?
Yes, I have.
Okay, then we can
actually.
go for the last.
Oh, okay.
I hope I haven't said anything that's going to lose my job yet.
No.
But
This one looks horrible. It's liquid and red.
for the sake of hits, yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
Is that too much?
Nice.
Look at this.
Well, you have to match this. Yeah, you have to like
I'm gonna drown the whole.
pick it up a
I
notch.
don't want to look at it.
Two-sided, double-sided.
It's like.
Nice.
Oh,
Cheers.
let's get the ghost up.
Let's get it done.
Good.
I had a strategy going in. It did not work out. The right side of my mouth was numb. I figured I'd have this on the left side. That was a mistake.
You should
Now
have
both
it
sides
on
of
the
my mouth are on fire. Okay.
Maybe I'm the crazy one.
Yeah, I think the previous one was worse actually. It's still pretty bad, but I think the ghost pepper one.
What's the worst?
Yeah, I think so. I think the spiciest.
It has a taste of gunpowder to it.
In your time here, in Tallinn and even Tallinn University itself, do you have any regrets?
Oh, that's a really good question. So if I saw myself 9 years ago, what would I say?
Yes.
I mean, what can I say?
I regret the years I spent.
Yeah,
wasting-
no, actually, everything turned out way better than I ever thought.
That's good.
You can complain about every situation, right?
Yeah.
I think the university itself, it gives you, there's a lot of freedom as a researcher.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I did this to myself. The right side was the correct strategy.
I don't have many regrets. So I'm a boring person to ask that.
I think
question.
that was
Not recently. I have earlier regrets, but I don't have regrets.
What were your...
Yeah, that was my next question.
Well, if I could go back in time to when I was 15, I would slap that cigarette out of my mouth and give myself a punch in the face.
Perhaps one thing I do regret is not taking on teaching earlier. So I waited to closer to the end of my PhD to do that. But I generally enjoy the university. I think there's a whole infrastructure in place that you don't really see, especially as students.
I think to wrap up, maybe we would like to point out which is your favorite.
Well, this was too spicy. I think it was the hot ones.
This one.
Yeah, the hot ones. Those.
That was definitely the winner in terms of
Heat, right?
death. That was a monster. This is nothing. No, you should try this one.
Wow.
That was but actually in terms of flavor, this one was really interesting.
In terms of pain, I like the zombie apocalypse. Maybe day-to-day use this one?
This one, really?
Maybe not every day, but once a week, just to feel alive. This is what academia does to you.
You need to feel pain.
You need to feel
alive.
pain to be alive.
All right. Thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
so much
us.
for having me.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you very
coming
much.
along.
Very
Thank you for
interesting
sharing.
experience.
If you want any of your own hot sauces, you can check out hotta.eu and they can hit you up with many different kinds of hot sauce.